Today, I want to talk about legacy. I want to start off by talking about Dr. Martin Luther King. He was born on Tuesday, January 15th, 1929. He passed away on Thursday, April 4th, 1968. Between the time of his being born and his passing away, on Wednesday, August 28th, 1963, during the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, he delivered his iconic speech, originally titled Normalcy, Never Again. However, we know it today as I Have a Dream. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s 1968 I Have a Dream speech has lived on as a tribute to his legacy. And while we may not become famous for our talents, skills, abilities, or our selfless acts of service, we each will, in fact, have a legacy. Hi, my name is Colette Elizabeth, and I created this channel as a safe space with you in mind. So today we're going to talk about legacy. So, what does legacy mean? It means a gift of property, money, endowment. It also means obsolete, outdated, out of commission. And an example of that would be like I worked in a field where we would change out computers and computer software. And so we would refer to the old software as the legacy system. So that would be an example of that. Another definition of legacy is anything handed down from the past, as in an ancestor handing down, like maybe a recipe or something like that. You hear people say heirlooms, or even something handed down by a predecessor, like a relative. So, speaking of handing down things, I just want to share a little trivia about my name, Colette. My mother's late cousin, Martha, named me Colette. Ironically, she shared a birthday, January 15th, with Dr. Martin Luther King. My middle name, Elizabeth, was handed down by my father, who named me after his mother, my ancestor. And Elizabeth is kind of like a legacy name in our family. My Aunt Charlene's middle name is Elizabeth, and I believe a couple of my other cousins. I'm not sure about that, but it's sort of like a legacy name. That's what I'll call it. So, how can you create your legacy? The first thing you want to do is you want to determine what type of legacy would you like to have? What type of legacy would you like to create and leave behind? You want people to smile when they think of you. You want them to fake smile when they think of you. How would you like to be remembered when they say your name when you've gone? And I know this may sound like a macabre subject, but we are all going to leave this planet at one time or another. The other thing that you can do after you have determined what type of legacy you would like to leave is you can start treating yourself and others with kindness. You may say, Colette, how does this relate to legacy? Well, I'm reminded of a poem that I referenced in a prior video that the late Dr. Maya Angelou said, where she said, people may not remember what you said or what you do, but they'll remember how you made them feel. So, legacy and building your legacy is a part of that. How do you want people to feel when they think about your name? I know with my grandmother who passed away, who we called grandmother on my mom's side, um, I always knew I had a cheerleader. I always knew no matter what I did, I had a cheerleader. And I just smile. That's the legacy she left for me. Okay. So, what type of legacy do you want to leave? Another thing you can do to create your legacy is to start honoring people that have been pivotal to your life, people who are close to you, people who you love, people who poured into you, giving them their flowers now. letting people know that you appreciate what they've done, that you honor them and you care about them. Mentors, coaches, teachers, your parents, your siblings, your kids, spending that time, even if it's a card or a text or a quick call to say, I appreciate you, and giving folks their flowers now. That is a way that you can also build your legacy. Another way you can build your legacy is by seizing the moment, by living your best life. My friend, who her name was Sandy, she passed away a few years ago. She used to love this song by Jill Scott, and I know many of you have probably heard of it. It's Living Your Life Like It's Golden. She would play that song, she would blast that song, and she actually did live that way. When we were together, it was always an adventure. You never knew what was going to happen. And that is a legacy that she left for me. When I smile, whenever I hear that song, Living Your Life Like It's Golden, I think of Sandy. So stop watching from the sidelines and start living your life. Start experiencing your life. Stop letting your life happen to you and stop waiting for things to be perfect. I'm talking to me too, okay? Because things are never going to be perfect. So you may say, how does that impact my legacy? Well, the way it impacts your legacy is that people will remember you by, hey, she lived her life. She did her thing. Like I remember Sandy, okay? She lived her life like it was golden, and I never, ever forgot it. And I appreciate it and appreciate her for it. Another way you can build your legacy is you can pay it forward as much as you can, whenever you can. And I know in this time of women wanting to live a life of ease, you can still do that and still pay it forward. There are times when investing in others, in their well being, in their happiness, it can mean so much. You never know what one seed can do for another person, and then that person's trajectory and how they impact people. See, because what we do, we're not on an island. We don't live in a silo. The actions we take, the words we speak, I did a video about our words, those are seeds, those things carry. So it doesn't just impact the one person that you said it to or did the deed for, it impacts a lot of other people because it impacts how that person treats other people and how that person may be encouraged because of your example to sow seeds in other people. I remember when I was first promoted to management, there was one particular coach, Tanya, who took the time and poured into me. We didn't spend a lot of time together, but I just never forgot her willingness to invest in my career. I didn't always take advantage of the time like I should have, but I appreciated that. And if she sees this video, I just wanted to say thank you for that. You never forget it. And that's a part of her legacy for me. All right. The other thing to remember is know that your life matters, that you matter. You were created for a purpose. Okay. And know that the table that is set is not complete until you're there. There's a chair for you. There's a chair in this life for you, for only you. And so, a part of building our legacy is understanding, and I'll do a video about purpose sometime later, is understanding our purpose. And hey, you don't even have to completely understand your purpose. Just start doing simple things that propel you forward and that leave a good taste and that make you feel good about being who you are. Another thing you can do is to live, and I'm getting back to that again, a life of gratitude. When you live a life of gratitude and make that a part of your legacy, where people know, hey, she was a grateful person or he was a grateful person, it helps them because legacy is not about us necessarily. It's about how we made others feel, right? It's about what we leave behind when we're gone. we remember different people for like maybe making the best, and I'm just making up stuff. Maybe we had a relative who made the best sweet potatoes. I had a cousin, I call her my aunt, Aunt Lena. She was my grandmother's first cousin. She made the best candy yams, the best. My grandmother, she made the best dressing. And that's not our legacy, but it's a part of the food legacy, if you will. So you can have different kinds of legacy. I just wanted to share that. But we people remember certain things about what we did and how we made them feel. That's a part of building our legacy. I remember my very first job after college. I worked for Blue Cross of California, and I was hired to process medical insurance claims for a new product that Blue Cross had created. And this new product was the first of its kind. This was in the 80s. They didn't have a product like that back then. You either had a PPO, which is a preferred provider organization, an HMO, health maintenance organization, an indemnity, a fee for service plans. These are all technical terms, but the point I'm making, those plans weren't together back in the 80s. The plan that I was hired to process claims for was called point of service. And that's where they combined an HMO and a PPO. And there was no other plan like it, not in the nation. So it was the very first of its kind. Now you see them everywhere. But anyway, they also, Blue Cross had created a computer system, a new computer system that was built just to process these claims because none of the other systems could process claims where a person can go to a PPO or go to an HMO. So they created a system called System for Managed Care, or SMC for short. And I just want to show you something. This is a cup from over 30 years ago. SMC, this is a cup, okay? SMC, System for Managed Care, teaming up for success. Those of us who were on that original team, I want to say it was like 1989, we got those cups. I forgot I had this cup. And my daughter was cleaning up, and I said, "Oh no, 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 no." We were giving, what we were doing is we were decluttering, getting rid of stuff. Kids, they look at it, it's got some names on it, don't have their name on it. She was gonna throw it away. I said, "Oh no, no, no. That's my SMC cup. This is a heirloom, okay, of sorts, right? It's an heirloom. For me, and maybe heirloom is not the right word, but that's the word I'm going to use for it. And I kept it. Moving forward, I when I retired from a California's paid family leave program. Many of you may have heard of it, some of you may not have heard of it, but I was a part of the inaugural team for California paid family leave. And what paid family leave did and was created and implemented in 2004. Okay, so almost 20 years ago, it was implemented. And just to give you a little background, what California paid family leave did is allow people to take time off work to care for a qualified relative, okay, or to bond with a child. This was the first program of its kind in the nation. And I was a part of that inaugural team. And I think about it, and I wasn't going to share this, but I thought about it. So I need to share this because when I'm thinking about my over 30-year career, it came full circle. I started my career with a new product, okay? And I ended my career working somewhere where it was a fairly new product. And as a result of being on the inaugural team for California Paid Family Leave, and when I say the inaugural team, I mean the inaugural management team, I had an opportunity to help other states to bring up their paid family programs. I was involved in sharing lessons learned and some of the knowledge, the practical knowledge that I had in bringing up a paid family program. I am very proud of my contributions. And those experiences that I just shared, they're part of my professional legacy. And no matter what happens, no one can take that legacy away from me. I had those experiences. I was in there. Look, people say they got a t-shirt. I got a cup. a 30-year-old cup. So for me, I believe my legacy is tied to my purpose. I was created to encourage, and I was created to just do the stuff. So if just a few people remembered me with 3 words, she helped me, she helped me, or Colette helped me, I'd consider myself as having fulfilled my divine assignment. So there's a poem that's called The Dash, and I'm sure many of you may have heard of it, by Linda Ellis. I'm not going to read the entire poem due to copyright, so I don't want to get any copyright strikes, but I will share with you a few lines that go like this. When your eulogy is being read with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash? So I began this video by telling you when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was born and when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. passed away. I shared how his I Have a Dream speech, how it has outlived him and it is a part of his legacy. You have a legacy to leave. What type of legacy do you want to leave? One of the ways you can decide that, and I know some people may see it as being macabre, but it is the truth, is asking yourself, how do I want people to remember me? You're still here and you're watching this video, you can start your legacy. And let's say you made some mistakes. You can correct. You can change. You can start right here, right now, creating the legacy that you want to leave of your life. My question to you is, how do you want to spend the rest of your dash? If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see other content like it, subscribe to the channel and remember to hit the notification bell so that you are notified when I upload new videos. Leave a comment. I read all the comments and I respond to the comments and I appreciate the comments. Until the next video, God bless, and I'll see you next time.